This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of T2 Metals, Mr. Mark Saxon. Mark, great to have you back on. We got a chance to catch up in PDAC. Glad we both made it back safely. How are you today?
Gerardo, good afternoon. Good to talk to you. And yes, I'm safe at home, and I hope you are as well. It was a big PDAC, and yeah, lots of great faces there, and lots of great interactions. And it's good to be doing this kind of stuff in person again. And it was a very good week for us at T2, and yeah, looking forward to a good year.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. You have a project in Nevada that I really like. You have another project in Arizona that I also really like. And you have one in Manitoba that I think is really underappreciated by the market. And I think, if I'm being honest, that a large reason for that underappreciation is the quiet period that resulted from you and the team having to process such vast amounts of data, right? You had this big, multiple data sets that you had to work through. We now have a completion of the interpretation of the geophysical data from this project. And I would love for you to provide some context, not just on what you learned, but the process and why it took, quite a bit of time. Although, again, I reckon that's a good problem to have, given that most projects suffer from a lack of historical data.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's lots in that question, Gerardo. And as you said, we've got a project in Nevada, which we've just completed drilling. We'll be moving to Cora in Arizona, and we'll be drilling that reasonably soon. And then I guess, yeah, the next one off the block will be the Sheridan project in Manitoba. And so Sheridan is is quite a well-known, quite a famous mining camp in Manitoba. And we're about 70 kilometers north of Flin. And I guess the things that really caught our eye when we first looked at Sheridan was multiple resource projects, so that have already been drilled out, so historical resources. And I use the word historical as the 43101 system requires, but these are resources that were calculated in 2010, so they're not sort of generations ago. So we identified historical resources. We identified a project that was, I guess, an orphaned asset, was something that had been forgotten about, and there's good reasons for that. And so we had to dig in, and we saw that it was open to acquire at a very low cost. And so it required a bit of corporate reconstruction from our joint venture partner, which is a company called Halo Resources. And essentially, Halo Resources spent loads of money during, 2005 up to about 2011. And then a clawback was exercised by Hudbay coming back over the top of the project. And so Hudbay executed a good bit of work in that clawback. But then Hudbay walked away as well in sort of 2013 because of their own internal issues and money to spend. I think it was in South America where they had some other problems. And so by that stage, Halo Resources didn't really exist in its own form, couldn't really take the projects back. And so the projects fell into limbo for about 10 years. And so that's where we stepped in and managed to sort of join the dots and reconstruct the parts to be able to do a transaction. And that took us a while. But it delivered us an amazingly good project in a great mining district as well.
Let's talk about the exploration upside, right? This is a VHMS type of deposit, which, look, this is a past producing asset. Typically there's multiple deposits, right? Once you find one or two, there tend to be more. Can you speak to what you do now to unlock that discovery potential?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the Canadian term, or the term that gets used most often with VHMS deposits, so VHMS being volcanic hosted massive sulfide deposit. So these style of deposits occur in really what's called camps. So if you find one, then it kind of tells you that the process is working to form many of them. And so if you look at the Flin belt, for example, which is from, I guess, Snow Lake on the eastern side, across to the project of McIlvana Bay with Foran mining on the western side. So I'd say that's kind of 600 kilometres across. There's about 100 VHMS deposits in that terrain. So small ones, large ones, and really, some cluster together, some are out there by themselves. And it shows that the same process that developed one ore body can repeat itself and develop multiple ore bodies. And it doesn't need a geology lesson, but it's a very great indication when you've drilled massive sulfide to know that there is potential for others around. And so at our camp in the Sheridan field, so the Sheridan camp has about 10 massive sulfide deposits that are known. 4 of those have historic resources. Two of them were large historic mines. And so, yeah, the opportunity now is to find another one of the large deposits that is hidden both in the ground and in the data, I guess. And yeah, our opportunity is to unlock the keys to that next deposit, which will be which will be at a deeper level, I think, in the Sheridan camp.
And just for potential shareholders or newer shareholders, maybe that, are attracted to the story and the excitement that comes with drilling for discoveries, T2 Metals' mandate is to focus on copper, nickel, and lithium acquisitions, right? To explore these properties, to make discoveries. And you tend to want to do that in jurisdictions that are top notch. Am I accurate in that, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, you know the history of our group and the work that we do, Gerardo, and yeah, looking at places where you can get work done in a meaningful time frame is important to me. A copper focus and followed by nickel would be the key places that we're looking at, and really that's driven by the energy transition, and yeah, we don't need to dig into that, but it creates a whole new range of opportunities for for us as explorers, for investors, and I think gradually as we saw at the PDAC, we're seeing a whole new generation of investors coming through who perhaps weren't traditional mining investors, but the opportunity to invest sort of in that EV cycle and that decarbonisation really allows those investors to come in and invest with us as mining companies. And I think, yeah, the whole cycle is a very long one. And yeah, we'll still be talking about this in 10 or 15 years' time, I'm sure, about the opportunity to decarbonise and the metals that are required to do that. So, yeah, we're in a great position to support that.
Agreed. Next several quarters, Mark, what's it look like for the company? I know there's a lot of catalysts coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always on the acquisition hunt, so I'll put that one out there as something that we're working on all the time. We have the drill results to come through from Leader, and then a follow-up drill program at Leader, which is the project in Nevada. We're moving down to Arizona to a porphyry target there, which is looking really good, and so we'll be drilling that within in the short term. So let's say certainly the first half of this year. And then rolling across to look at drilling and exploration up at Sheridan. So we raised flow-through dollars for the Sheridan project, and so we're financed there for with good quality flow-through money for that Canadian work.
Multiple shots for a major discovery, or discoveries, I should say, this year. Where's the market cap, Mark?
So I'll be rounding up to say we're 15 million Canadian. So let's say 12 million, and so low capex, low market cap company, and in a good shape for growth.
Excellent. Mark, thanks so much. Sounds like we'll be chatting pretty soon.
Thanks, Gerardo. Chat soon. Thanks for the call.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.